Okay. Breathe. Let it go. And describe what I'm doing today. First, I'm going to say this. Yesterday, whenever I said that after I started doing the jump rope, that some fluid came out, like it was almost like my water broke, and then I started my period today. So I think that's healthy. Seems like it is, but that's information about whatever it was I was talking about now. Continuing on. What we're doing today is caulking. Okay? I know that you don't have to make everything significant, but you can. You can if you can come up with ideas. Caulking is spelled Caulking. Okay? What do you think of when you hear the word caulking? How can you make it infuse it into some way that makes you turn it into a loving experience? I don't know. A thought that came to my mind was that it sounds like call king, but I don't know what the word Caul is, so I will have to look that one up. But I'm just tossing things out, and here it goes. First, you can learn from people. But come over here and tell me what it is that you want. Has nothing to do with it. I can't help you if I don't let you know. Okay. So I am sure that you already know this. Let me see if this one has one on there. Yeah, it does. Okay. So when you place this in here, that's how you get the thing cut off. It's not going. There you go. And then when you pull this out, that's how you get that broke inside so that it'll come out like it should. This is a really old caulk gun. I've had it for a long time. A lot of times I like to take a wet paper towel and go over everything after I'm finished to smooth it down. We'll see if I need to do that. Of course, I got my gloves on. More work. The best at everything that I do? Probably not, but I'm still showing it to you anyways. Like, there's always room for improvement. Stop trespassing. Stop throwing things in my backyard. Right there on the foot this time. I've gotten really excited about thinking about this Pinocchio idea and how that's going to transform into something new. What else was I going to say about Pinocchio? Like what I just said when I was aggravated. Okay, let's do an example about what I said. If you, not necessarily example, but I'll talk about what I think about it. It's like, so if you, like, let's say you come up with a creation off of a creation before you did your thing, like having a house that was already built before you moved into the house or before you bought the house. Well, if I don't know, let's just say that let me try and get better at this. Let's use the example of Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a story that is very old, and the whoever wrote the story of Pinocchio is long gone. But if the person who did write the story of Pinocchio was alive, and I got some kind of value out of that story, I would not go seek out Walt Disney or whoever wrote the story of Pinocchio to try and give back the values that I got from that story, because he created the story. He already knows the values that were in that story. So that's what I'm trying to talk about with some person who's doing stuff based upon what you're doing and not understanding how to respond to that, such as somebody like putting out, like, okay, so one of my the neighbors has put out little things in their yard that I have done before, like, and I've noticed it, such as like, you know, putting out buckets around their house or putting out a pallet of wood or whatever, and that freaks me out because I don't understand what they're doing. I think at one point I saw them smash up a TV, and I was like, I can't get anything off of that because I don't understand why you're imitating something that I have done when I have never met you and don't know anything about you. I know the reasoning of why I did something, and for whatever I have done in my own actions or speech or whatever the case may be, I do not understand any of that other stuff or what's going on with that. So that just makes me want to stay away from these people, because to me they're odd. And that's like because they don't talk to me or tell me what they want from me or what the fuck they're doing. And that would be kind of like me going to Walt Disney's house and setting up a bunch of Pinocchio dolls all in the house, all around the houses around him. What would be the point of that? He's trying to be helpful by creating that story, and you're just bothering him about it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I can't find any reasoning in that. And so I have these no trespassing signs all around me because I want to be left alone. If you can't tell me what it is that you want from me, which I'm a very generous person, I just can't get involved with you. I can't make sense of that. For a person who is trying to learn as much as they can, to explain it, to be helpful, and do everything that I do, because I did not know what to do with myself, I can't do anything with that. And so I want to be left alone. I want to be left alone because I cannot understand it. You cannot understand what people are doing if they won't communicate with you. If they're just doing weird things. And that, like, it needs to get sorted out because I don't understand it. there should not be any like weird behavior that has no purpose behind it. Every person in the world, if they're a functioning human being, is based upon wants and needs. So if you need something or you want something, you should have the ability to be able to communicate that properly. And also the fact of the matter is that I have said that I would like my privacy, but I would also like to be able to form a relationship with the person that I care about, and I don't know how else to do that without bringing myself out of my shell somehow. A relationship, a romantic marriage type of relationship. That is the kind of relationship I am going for. But I'm also wanting to develop the skills and abilities within myself that I think are important. Freak people out if you start being weird and you don't tell them what the fuck you're doing. That needs to come to an end. Or if you try to make something about you that has nothing to do with you. That's another good exercise. I'm on my period. I'm a little bit angry about having to say what's on my mind again. And and the other thing is that I strictly said that I went through doing all kinds of things when I was younger, with volunteering with children, through Big Brothers, Big Sisters, through Boys and Girls Club, through those kinds of activities. And I am not going to do any more practice with children that aren't mine to get ready for having children. I am at 45 years old right now. Then if I'm going to ever be around any children, they're going to be my own children. I'm not going to do any practice to get ready for that. I'm at the end of my rope, basically. It's going to happen soon or it's not going to happen at all. And there's no reason to practice for anything if you're not actually going to ever get to do it. Ren says that we'll get to be able to do it. So, not. It's just not. And plus, those children of ours would be unique to us because of the way that we chose to raise them. And so any practice that would even be able to occur would not be good practice because it wouldn't be based upon who we are. So, and the same thing goes with what I was trying to say about how a person turns out uniquely. Even us having children, those children are not really going to turn out in our spitting image. I am not a person who is in my parents' spitting image. There are things about me that are very unique. Now, there might be some sort of talent or thing that I can do that might be in common with genetics, but mostly it's about the whatever I've nurtured within myself. Sometimes I will continue working even though I get something might be bothering me, and I just have to talk through it and make sure that I'm not getting sloppy, okay? Because that's when being frustrated is one thing that you don't want to do with construction, or you want to be able to manage it, because you don't want to ever have to come back. You don't want to have to redo what you've done just because you were feeling a little bit hot. All right? Agitated, whatever you want to call it. What agitates us most in life? Things that do not make sense to us. Okay? It's not necessarily that you have like some hatred within you or whatever. It's just like communication would go a long ways. Communication would go a long ways. It's like if this wall right here, let's just imagine a scenario. If this wall started, let's just say it became animated and it started doing things, but it could not talk, and I wanted to know, why are you moving, or why are you doing all these things to me, wall? And you're like wanting these answers, but the wall has no mouth and can't tell you any of these answers. What are you gonna do? Okay, that's what it feels like when people don't communicate with you. That is what it feels like. And it also feels terrible to have one side of a scenario where people have information about the kinds of things that you do, but they want to be secretive about the kinds of things they do. That's not fair. You can't get very far in life if that's how people treat you. I'll hoard everything of mine and be nosy about what you're doing. No, that's not okay. You've got to find a way to try and contribute. And how you do that when you don't really necessarily think everything in the world makes sense to you is something I'm also trying to learn how to do. Because if I can do things that make sense to myself, I can get somewhere. I can get somewhere. I'm getting at this back wall behind here right now. Where did I put that? Oh, wet paper towel. I'm gonna have to go get another one. But yeah, a period does make you a little bit more emotional, because a period doesn't necessarily feel all that good, and you go through changes each month. is also one reason why you feel grateful for every other day that you're not on your period. So my periods they come about every 25 days, which means from the start to start of the next one. And in between that is 9 or 10 days of bleeding. So that is a lot of fucking time dealing with periods. Okay? If you think about that. Because it's just, you have those 9 days in between the 25. And that's all back to back. Trying to squeeze everything in work-wise with that going on with your body. Now with these videos, I'm trying to say that we are making it to finishing each day. Now, if you were an architect, such as I took a little bit of time to think yesterday, if you were an architect or something like that, which I described getting sorted out in your head is the architecture of your heavens. Okay? You're developing that sphere. Well, if you took a day to do your drawings or to do your writing so that you can build and structure your life, that counts as work. It does. So, because you have to have those ideas to get back to what you're doing each time. You have to. To the drawing board, to the drafting table, whatever you want to call it. If you don't have those, whatever you're making is just going to be generic to you, and then you're going to be like, I don't feel all that good because my stuff looks like everybody else's stuff. Well, that's just not going to do. You got to come up with ways that work for yourself. Now, I've got to move some things around. Let me just move the computer over here. How long has it been? Okay, we're gonna stop it because we're at 30 minutes. I'm gonna move some things around and continue doing the caulking, and then I might. That's enough caulking. You get the idea of it. You know what it looks like. I'm gonna finish it up. What I need to do. Okay. Good talk. Good talk.